Hey, what's going on?
Wait, that's my line.
What?
What? Jackson.
What's going on?
What?
Look, man, all I want to do is say hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. I am the host of this show. I don't know who these guys are.
My bad, dude.
Welcome to the stream. Glad you guys could join us. For everyone that's been joining on this, I don't even know what camera I should look at.
I don't know. Look at them both occasionally.
I'm just going this one, I think. Oh, I guess this one. Hey,
Spread the love.
For everyone that have joined to the stream, thank you. For everyone that's been following the hype train on Twitter, let's get some positive vibes in the chat, please. So we're excited to come here today and talk about some cool things that are coming up. You probably, cat is out the bag. Valguero has been launched.
How'd you guys figure it out?
The trailer has been launched. I don't know how they figured it out.
How could they figure it out?
Like,
It's not like we left them a breadcrumb trail.
not at all. Not at all. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about some of the things that Valguero offers for you, and we'll also be talking about kind of the state of the game. What are the things we're working on? What are the things we're focused on right now? So yeah, we'll get it started. But first, let's do some introductions. I am Cedric. I am the lead community manager. You may have seen me in different roles, but this is my role now. You can introduce yourself, Jackson.
Well, thank you, Cedric. I'm Jackson. I'm a level designer here at Wildcard. Alex.
And you're awesome.
Thanks, man. I
that's
appreciate the
exciting.
awesome. That's what I got, man. That's what I got.
My name's Alex Williams. I'm the gameplay engineer that was in charge of Valguero and the Deinonychus.
Nice. So if you have any problems with the Deinonychus or Valguero, you should probably reach out to Alex.
Yes, please reach out to me.
I'll send you his Twitter later.
Yeah, maybe on LinkedIn.
Personal email.
Personally,
email.
and his phone number. He likes
Yeah.
calls. We want to have some fun,
867-5309.
talk about the game. You can't interrupt
Sorry.
me, Alex. He's new to the stream. Sorry, guys. We'll get him acclimated to how this actually works and how you shouldn't interrupt people. But we have a whole script here. We're going to try to stick to it. But really, what's important here is Valguero. We like to have these opportunities to sponsor or to partner with our modding community. I came from the modding community. Jackson came from the modding community.
That's right.
I don't know where Alex came from, but he's here. Zane came from the modding community. He's behind the desk helping out with the PC and things like that. So we invest in our modding community, whether that be employing them or sponsoring some of the content that they work on. If you don't know, we have the sponsored mod program. So every month we're essentially giving out money to modders who love to mod for ARK. So this is a really cool partnership that we are happy to bring you, and we're happy to do things like this. But before we jump into all the Valguero fun, let's talk about the state of the game. So where is the game right now? It's perfect. So let's move on to the next thing. Wait, we're done, right?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
No. Okay, so state of the game. There's been a lot of talk in the community. A big one, we all know, I see thousands of comments on the daily, meshing, right? So what are we doing about undermeshing? You know, the common thing that I see now is, hey, you know, I was in my base, I got meshed, you know, what are you guys doing? It's a good question. So just to let you know where we're at with that, if you've been taking a look at the patch notes, we talk about something called mesh detection. All right, so there's also been something in the community. There's been a mod that was developed in the community that does something similar. But what it essentially does is it tracks the player location. It's like a player's heartbeat. So anywhere you go, it gives us a location of where that place is. Right now, our enforcement team, what they do is they look at that data and they say, hey, that place is not a place they should be. And then they go and look at some other information to make sure that it's actually a legit case, you know, because the thing that you'll see with these type of solves for meshing is that you get a lot of false positives. And what false positives are is it's when someone detects you under the mesh, but you aren't really under the mesh. So that's what we're trying to eliminate. We get a lot of questions about, you know, why can't it just automatically ban people or kill people or things like that? It's really tricky because if you're one of those players who you know, illegitimately got banned or killed, I don't think you'll be a happy camper. And you know, commonly I'll hear, well, I think people understand it's for the greater cause. I think that's all fine and dandy until it happens to you. And it wouldn't be a spot that we want to put the players in. So it's something that we're continually working on, we're continually getting better at, and we're continually going to tweak until we get the right answers. So for all those that are invested in what we're doing with meshing, I want to let you know it is a serious concern. It is something we take serious. It is something we're working on. you know, and it's something that you can expect that we'll keep you updated on. So just wanted to get that out the way while we're here. If you didn't know, we did have some community management changes. Jen has moved on. She has ascended into another ARK. So if you see her in your passings, be sure to wish her well. But I will be taking over for those responsibilities. In the meantime, unfortunately for you, I'm sorry. So you'll see in the community, we've also been doing a lot of reaching out as far as getting your feedback. Now, we get feedback in a lot of ways. One of the ways is through the feedback forum that you see on Survive the Ark. That's a very, you can upvote things that you agree with. You can add, you can collaborate on things that you want to collaborate on. Another way is just general tweets or Reddit or things like that. But one of the things that I've been really trying to do is get tailored feedback. If you've been kind of paying attention to the community, I've been doing things called weigh-in. The first one I think I did was actually Manic Armor. That was the first one that I asked for feedback on. Here's a fun fact. The guy who created Manic Armor, right there. So be sure to show him.
Should I say you're welcome?
You should.
All right. You're welcome.
You should say you're welcome.
So, you know, that was the first thing that I asked for feedback on. The second one was about events. A lot of things that I hear in the community are, you know, hey, we want more events. We want more breeding events. We want more colored dinos. We want more items. You know, so I wanted to get your feedback on what type of things you look for in an event. What type of events do you like? There are particular events that you care about more than others. I think the overall resounding feedback I got was we want Halloween back.
Halloween was always great.
If you agree with that in the chat, just show us some love. But
Halloween was great.
what was good about Halloween, Jackson?
Dude, I mean, I gotta say, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, it was the first event that I kind of got to experience.
Gotcha.
It was super meaningful to me. It might just be because of that and might be sugarcoating it, but
Or you just like Halloween?
I also am a big fan of Halloween.
That's
So,
what I find. I find a lot of people are a fan of Halloween.
more so than Christmas and like Thanksgiving, although the murder turkey was that was always a good plan.
No, well, let's not bring up the murder turkey. So those are things that I'll be continually asking for your feedback on. One of the most recent ones, and I'll link these later today in our community crunch, but one of the most recent ones was getting your feedback on servers. Another common thing I hear about is, are you going to open more servers? We want more servers. We want duos. We want trios. We want all these different type of servers that you may be interested in. So really want your feedback on what you look for in servers. Do you just want new servers that offer the vanilla experience? Do you want servers with a twist on it? You know, what do you want? So those are the type of things that you should be on the lookout for. You know, we'll be asking for very specific feedback. You know, feel free to give your feedback in general, the way that you've been doing, but also look out for these opportunities to give some very specific feedback on things that we're doing. So another thing, oh wow, this one is going to be a big one.
This is going to be a big one.
This is like, I would like to liken this to PC versus console. And what I'm going to talk about next is PvE versus PvP. All right, so
Yeah.
it's like this huge battle online that I see. It's like this, you know, like this master race of who's better, PvP or PvE.
Yeah.
They're both good. All right, people play them for different reasons. It doesn't matter which one you like. They're both important. No one's more important than the other. We love all ARK
Yeah, I
players.
gotta say, I love both of them.
Yeah, they're different reasons to play different modes. So, you know, I would hope that we would get over the PvE versus PvP. We're all one ARK family here. But the reason I bring that up is because there were some valid points brought up. You know, one of them being, you know, sometimes things may seem like they are balanced more so for PvP. An example of this would be, and actually this is a good point, we're fixing this in an upcoming patch, but I got a lot of feedback about gas bags. You know, gas bags, if you haven't played with gas bags, it has this wonderful gas feature. Side note, I really did not like that name for gas bags, but that's a longer story.
It's plural, and I like it.
But anyway, there's this feature for gas bags, and it was brought to my attention that people were exploiting this or using this for bad ways on PvE servers. So what they're doing is they're using this to blow away tames on PvE. So an example of you know, where we need to look closer, you know, for things that may impact PvE but not impact PvP. So in your argument of PvE versus PvP, that is a valid argument. You know,
Yeah,
there are going to
yeah.
be things that we need to look at differently for PvE because it is a different audience. They play for different reasons. They're going to be impacted by different things in the PvP community and vice versa. So that's something we will keep in mind as we design future things, as we look at future content. It is something we do need to keep in mind. But we love all ARK players alike. There is no which one is better, you know. But for the record, PvE does have more players. I did throw that out there. I think that is the state of the. Anything you guys want to address? Anything on your mind about what's
All
going
I got
on
on my
in
mind is Valguero. That's all I
That's
got.
right.
Valguero.
And Deinonychus and pizza.
And
Anybody
pizza.
else have
Wait,
pizza
wait.
on their
What
mind?
about pizza? So, what's been going on with this pizza, guys?
Oh yeah, actually, he would be a good man to talk to about why this whole thing is
Wait, how
holding
many
with
details do you guys want?
Yeah, or we could leave it anonymous.
Yeah, please in the comments tell us what kind of pizza you like best.
Side note: this pizza will be thawed out by the time we actually.
No one can eat this pizza.
So it's probably not going to be good, and I'm probably not going to be able to get this right.
And if you tell me how good Valguero is by the end of the day, I'll eat it without cooking it
Oh my God. Okay.
on stream.
All right. So, what is DiGiorno? Right?
Yeah.
I've been hearing this. You know, what is DiGiorno? We've been teasing DiGiorno. Thanks to the DiGiorno company that went along with this and actually joined us.
Yeah, that was incredible.
To let you know what DiGiorno is, literally, DiGiorno is a company that offers frozen pizza. I got this a lot because there are people in different countries that don't have this brand, so they don't even know what DiGiorno is.
I didn't even think about it. That would cause a lot more confusion.
DiGiorno is a pizza brand, a frozen pizza brand, here in the U.S. They may be in other countries too. I'm not sure, but it's here in the U.S. Where did this all come from? Where did this start? Why did we start teasing DiGiorno? I'm sure you would love to know, and I'm sure everybody is just on their heels, just waiting for this answer. It's not as impressive as you think.
Anticlimactic answer.
I promise, and I'll just apologize in advance for the hype train I've been building, but I am excited. I really am. But DiGiorno, what is it? So if you've been in a developer role, you'll find that naming things isn't always easy when you've named 100 things that day. You have variable names that you have to create these smart names for. Other people are going to be reading them. So when we created the branch for DiGiorno, I literally think it was just the first thing that came up on the mind when we created it. It wasn't some like some type of teaser that's for future content. It wasn't some type of some undercover hint. It was literally just something that came, out of the first thing that comes off your mind.
Right.
So, when it got out there and people started seeing that there was a DiGiorno build in the wild, the speculation started, and, we thought we'd have fun with it in true wildcard fashion.
Yeah.
So don't be mad at us. That is what DiGiorno is for all those people who are getting teased by DiGiorno. It is really just a name for a build. That's all it is. Sorry to let
That's
you
all it
guys
is.
know,
But thanks to DiGiorno.
Yes,
Yeah.
thanks to
Thank you,
DiGiorno. And actually, I'll follow up. But Chris, the one who makes our videos and our trailers for our team, he actually reached out to them. That's how this all got started. I'm sure they were looking on Twitter like, why is DiGiorno popping up with ARK? Like, what is going on here? So he reached out to them. They actually, I'll have to follow up, so don't quote me on this, but I think they sent us some coupons for pizza. So if we do get those coupons, we'll send them out to you guys. So you guys can all have free pizza on our account. Yes, let's get into the fun stuff now. All right, we talked about the state of the game.
We talked about pizza.
We talked about pizza. We talked about DiGiorno. Here's the fun stuff. All right, so we're gonna go over Valguero. We're gonna show you a little bit. We're going to do some kind of a fly through, show you a little bit of what we consider some of our vantage points of the map. We'll show you a little bit of I'm probably gonna have a problem pronouncing this. Deinonychus.
Is it harder or easier to pronounce than Managarmer?
I would say easier.
Easier to pronounce than Managarmer.
But then again, I don't know.
Menagemer.
I always just call it
Deinonychus.
As you can see, Zane is going through here and showing us, a little bit of the map. So while he's going through, let's talk about it a little bit. So Jackson was, helping out a large part with the modders on this map. If you didn't know, this is a modded map that was in the workshop. Do you know how long it's been out? I'm not sure how long it's been out, actually.
It's been out for a little bit over a year now.
Okay, a
little
little
bit
over a year. Nice.
So it's almost basically full circle now.
Nice. A little
Just
bit
had
over
its
a
birthday.
year.
Just had its birthday. Yeah.
Nice. Happy birthday to Valguero. So, this map, the thing that I'll just go off and say, the thing that I like about this map is it's what I would consider a builder's map. It has a lot of area and a lot of, landscape to build on, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
It feels, I know that ARK fans really love that open paradise flatlands, a lot of land to
100%.
build on.
Yeah.
I wonder how many pillars we can spam this up.
There's going to be a lot of pillars. The good news is that there's a lot of, the coolest thing I think that ARK players will really appreciate is that this is, I would say without a doubt, going to have the most building locations out of every map in ARK.
Oh, really?
We're going to see probably some of the most incredible PvP and PvE builds, I would argue.
Oh,
Just
nice.
because, and not to mention the way the map's laid out really strives for a lot of there's a lot of high ground, low ground, open space, narrow canyons to all block up and barricade, and not to mention we have not only that. We have, if you guys have seen the trailer, which we just played, was that we have Aberration. This is the first mod map the official mod map to include Aberration, which I know a lot of people are gonna really enjoy. People are gonna you're actually gonna be able to go down there and grab. What's up?
Nothing.
Oh, it's
going,
he's just sorry. He's just laughing at me.
Sorry, guys. It's been a long day here. We're full of hype, and we're trying to keep it in here.
But yeah, so I think people are gonna really enjoy that, being able to actually have a little section of Aberration to go and explore. Actually, not a little. This Aberration area is massive. It's about 1/4 the size of the map.
Did I see this? How many biomes does this map have? I read it has how many biomes? I don't want to misspeak.
No, it's basically around 8.
Okay.
Give or take. You could some of the forest stuff could be combined into one, but I'd still count a forest as a biome. So.
Okay, cool. What is your favorite biome for this? If you had to choose the biome that you would live in, what area would it be?
Without a doubt, I would definitely 100% say the coolest biome by far, and actually it's one of my favorite biomes now that is part of the ARK universe, is the White Cliff biome.
I was gonna say the White Cliffs.
It's such a unique location for players to explore. Not only does it have a big flat open plains, and not only is the verticality very almost crazy big. You start off from the ground level and go all the way up to the top, and it's like a trek. It's
nice.
like climbing Everest to get up to the top of the White Cliff area.
You speak about verticality. That's actually a good point about this map. So we are introducing the Deinonychus. And actually, Alex did the implementation on Deinonychus. Alex, did that come into play when you started designing this? Did we think about verticality? Did we think about this map in particular in regards to the design of this creature and its abilities?
Yeah, from the beginning to the end of the development, it was really just kind of based around what is in the Valguero map a lot, and verticality and kind of a lot of high walls, and we wanted to make sure you could navigate those in a way that was different from what we had in ARK so far. And we have climbers and stuff, and they'll be amazing on this map too, but we wanted to at least tailor this dino to that at least a little bit.
I know a lot of people are going to ask, and I don't know that we have a specific answer for this, but why the Deinonychus? Where did that come from? What was the process like when you guys went into designing, okay, so we want to do a cool new creature for this map. What should it be? How did that process go?
Well, I think our priorities were really just that from Extinction we had some really, really wild dinos that were a ton of fun, and then when it came around to picking out the map, we picked something that was a little bit more core survival game, and then we're like, well, maybe we should do something that's a little bit more core dino, and so we wanted to do a more traditional style dino. And I'm telling you, I've seen many references to how cool Deinonychus is throughout the lifetime of ARK, so we were like, all right, this is the dino to do.
I think it was a good choice. I've been getting a lot of feedback. I think people definitely love the prehistoric dinos. People love tech creatures as well, but I think there is a warm place in people's hearts for these classic dinos because I see a lot of requests for them, in the community. So it's really cool that we're able to do this type of dino, and I really love seeing these type of dinos. So the latchability, from a technical perspective, I'm going to say that I thought that was going to be a nightmare. Dinos latching on to our dinos, I just thought would be a technical challenge. Is that as hard as you thought it would be?
I mean, in a lot of ways, yes, definitely. There are a lot of edge cases to deal with, and a lot of interesting things that can happen when you try to latch to a dino, particularly a moving dino. But I am pretty happy with where we got with it. It's a lot of fun to just run in, latch on, run out, and that's kind of what his entire experience is based on. So
Yeah,
it also might be pretty fun to build out a stamina build and just kind of follow right around a huge dino.
that would be cool.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how does this introduce itself into the meta? How does
Yeah.
it become part of PvP? How does it become part of PvE? It's going to be really interesting, and it is important to note that that latchability happens in the wild as well.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see some of these dinos through those abilities in the wild. It definitely brings life to the game, in my opinion. Excuse me.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the things I wanted to see since I started ARK was anyone who's a fan of Jurassic Park in the last part of Jurassic Park, seeing raptors jump on a dino, like that was like the dream in ARK, and I was like, oh, it's never gonna happen. And now it's like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah, it's awesome to see it.
Yep, we started with the pounce, and now we're on to latch. So we're going all the way here.
Yeah.
Jackson, in terms of, so you helped out as far as transitioning this into its official status. When you do, like, from your approach, what were some of the priorities for you as far as what were some of the key things that you wanted to make sure when we look at turning a mod map into an official map that's going to go out on console and PC and things like that?
I think number one is always optimization is always in the back of your mind, no matter what. That's number one. Number two is opening up the map a bit more to be level design wise, be a little bit more playable, a little bit more not just one-sided. Make sure places aren't going to be too overpowered for PvP, and make sure there's a lot of nice locations to build and things like that for ARK players. Also, I think just making sure that a lot of the map not only like looks nice, but just performs well and feels unique, and also brings back some of the, I think for this map specifically, since we do have a lot of the old biomes, but also new biomes, I think it's important to kind of reference some of those old biomes and make them, give them a little bit like, a new coat of paint. So it's like we have some redwoods in there, but it's a little bit different than the original redwoods and things like that. So those are things I usually look for, at least on the surface.
So, and for those who don't know, Jackson was a part of the Ragnarok team that brought you the great Ragnarok map. So, in comparison to Ragnarok, that transitional phase, what do you feel like the biggest differences were, if there were any? It can be technical or non-technical.
Oh, you mean just from Ragnarok?
Comparatively speaking.
Comparatively speaking, I would say this map is going to perform a lot better. Not only because of the size of the map, but just a lot of stuff that not only I learned, but we learned when going in and converting a mod map over to going into official. There's a lot of things Ragnarok ran into that we also ran into some of the same issues on this map, but we knew how to handle them this time.
That's a good point.
And knew how to deal with it right away versus like doing a lot of checking and guessing. So
that's a good point. Sweet. All right, so let's jump in. I think Zane is going to show us a little bit of the Deinonychus. We're going to show you a little bit of the features, play around with it. I'm particularly a fan of this model, the actual 3D model for this.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it. In fact,
I
wanted to share it early, but our producer Colin, you may have seen him on another stream. He's like, "Don't you dare do that!" Like, I wanted to tweet, I wanted to share it because I was so excited about it.
This is one of my favorite looking dinos.
People would love to see it, and he was like, "Nah, bro, you can't do all that." I'm just really a fan of the feathers. I'm really a fan of it's a very I don't know. I like the raptor, so of course I'm going to like this as well. So Zane is going to show you around, and I don't think he has a mic. It would be good to have him talk, but he doesn't have a mic, so we're just going to pretend that he is talking. I know Zane has played around with this a lot, so he's probably going to be the most knowledgeable about some of the features. And actually, Alex is a good person to talk about these features.
I've never played with it before.
Yeah, I bet you haven't. So let's talk about the speed of this raptor. Like, how does it compare in terms of the normal raptor? Do we know? Like, is it as
I mean,
fast?
it's on the ground. It's comparatively as fast as the raptor is. In terms of like jump mobility and speed, it definitely is significantly faster than the raptor. And basically, it's pretty good at jumping in, doing a little damage, it applies a bleed effect that stacks. And so the idea is really just kind of a glass cannon, because a lot of our end-game PvP dinos are all very tanky, and there's not a lot of high damage risk reward going on there. So that's really what the goal was with Deinonychus.
What is I just totally lost my train of thought. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, the dino looks so
fill
cool,
in.
man.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I mean,
So some of the other cool stuff with the wall latching is, you can latch up the wall like this. You can actually chain these together before even the second one finishes by just pressing space halfway through it, like
nice.
that. Yeah.
Nice.
So you can get some good chains. Then you can kind of just jump from ledges and kind of travel around the world. What I really like doing is I mostly arrived organically at just jumping. Ended up being pretty fun. Zane, if you chain a couple of jumps together, they don't have to have anything to do with wall jumping at all. You can just do them from the ground. It's pretty fun, actually.
So question, can the Deinonychus latch onto any dino?
No, we have a special list of dinos that we like to keep it latched to because of edge cases. Small dinos.
What's an
it just
edge
looks
case?
An edge case.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
No, I mean in definition of an edge case.
Oh,
for
an
those
edge
who may
case.
not
So
know.
it's basically in this one scenario, it works most of the time, but maybe that last 10% of the time, it just looks not good, doesn't work well, doesn't work at all. I mean,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Just wanted
It's
to
really a
explain for
bug.
people.
I mean, yeah.
Kind of like the manic armor, but.
Oh, whoa.
So if you heard them, there are dinos that there are going to be a list. There is a list of dinos that this can and cannot latch onto. Similar to the raptor, how it can and can't pounce you off of some things. Although I've been reading there may be some issues with that, but there will be an exclusion list. So this won't be able to latch onto everything. In terms of health, is it tanky? Is it is it squishy?
It's squishy.
Okay.
It's squishy. It's really meant to run in, run out, do a little damage.
some ambushing.
Yeah, do some ambushing, apply some bleeds, and get out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Zane can also climb up the wall and jump down onto an unsuspecting creature from the wall.
Or a player.
Yeah, or a player.
Nice.
So you can kind of hide out on the side of a wall and just wait for somebody to walk by, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tame these?
Yes, you can, but you really have to find one of their eggs out in the wild, and then raise it from an egg.
Nice.
Oh, there was something else I was going to mention about it.
Mention it, Alex.
Yeah, mention it. But first I got to think of it to mention it. This is quite the problem.
Also, if you have any questions related to Valguero or the Deinonychus, be sure to throw them in chat. We'll try to read some of these at the end here when we get caught up. But yeah, if you have any questions related to the Valguero, Deinonychus, be sure to throw them in chat. And also, you can ask them, whether it's on Twitter, Survive the ARK, we'll be sure to reach out for them and look for them. But
I could mention a couple of things with, like we changed the raptor pounce in addition to this pounce just slightly. You can now,
there we go.
You can now dodge the pounce at least a little
What?
bit. So yeah,
That's actually pretty cool.
right before you. Yeah, sorry, dude.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You're ruining my great work.
I made it better. Your work is still great, Cedric.
So there are some balance changes to the raptor.
Yeah.
I've been reading a lot about this. People feel some type of way about the raptor pounce. So there is some relief coming, as you can hear. There is a way to dodge it, which is cool. That was the one thing that I've been reading about a lot. There's also some other balance changes and tweaks that are coming in the updating the patch that is upcoming. Sorry, I can't even use words right now. I'll be sure to post those in the community crunch later today. You'll see the patch notes, but it has an exploit fix like the gas bags. It has a few other things that you guys should look forward to, some quality of life changes, things like that. So in addition to this Valguero content drop, we'll also be updating and touching quite a few things. So I'll be sure to post those notes out there. What area is this actually, Jackson?
This is in the White Cliffs area.
Yeah, so this is the White Cliffs.
This is the White Cliffs area.
So for everyone in the chat, this is.
And this is gonna be one of the best places to find. At least you're gonna have the highest chance of finding a Deinonychus egg in this location.
Yeah, I thought I saw like 3 of them running around. So it seems like a high popular area.
They're also tucked away in other parts of the map, but this is primarily the White Cliff biome will be where you will find an egg.
Nice. All right.
And
Well,
those questions are moving real fast.
yeah, I know. I can't read them all.
Yeah.
But I, can
I
see
got
a
my
few.
master's in reading Twitch chats. So
One
just-
of the
Oh,
big ones.
okay.
One of the big ones. One of the ones we already addressed, which is meshing. Can someone update them in the chat, please? But one of the things that I've been seeing a lot in the chat, and we didn't necessarily touch on in particular, is, you know, what is the launch date for this, right? So what is the launch date? When
What
is
is
this
the launch
coming
date,
out?
Cedric?
So for PC, we're going to launch this tomorrow. It'll be 10 a.m. PST. That's when you can expect this to go
That's
live
awesome.
on Steam, servers, things like that. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock PST. Let's talk about consoles real quick, all right? I've got tons of tweets about console players. Understand that, you know, our goal is to make sure that these content or these drops go out at the same time. We don't prefer to release PC early and then release, you know, console later. We prefer for them to all go out at the same time. Unfortunately, I must have missed something. Unfortunately, it just wasn't possible with this particular launch. You know, there are some more things we need to look at before it goes to console. PC will allow us to look at a few things that may happen or potential bugs that may arise from launch. We all know that that's a thing. In addition to some of the things that Jackson said in the sense that console just requires more consideration. It just really does. It requires a little bit more optimization, a little bit more TLC. So just realize that it is something that we will aim to do. Unfortunately, we were not able to do it with this release, but console will be coming out in July. July, we will have a Valguero launch for console, and we'll have a pizza party, and everybody will have pizza. Why were you guys laughing? What did I miss?
Zane had taken the Deinonychus and
Into
dropped
the
him
water.
into the water.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Zane, why did you do that?
Yeah, I mean, the Xbox build's coming
pretty
along.
funny.
It's going to be in good shape.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah,
the Xbox build is going
It's
to
a higher performer than Extinction,
Yep.
Yeah.
performance-wise.
I'm
so
actually very proud.
So
and,
yeah,
and
you guys should be
say
really
that
happy with
louder
that.
for the people in the back. It's higher performance.
It's higher performance than Extinction by a definite margin. So I'm
Awesome.
excited about it. Yeah.
Awesome. So what you can expect is a cool map to live on, play on, build on, you know, enjoy. You know, we didn't, I just wanted to make sure that we touch on a lot of the things that I've been, you know, hearing, which is meshing, PvE versus PvP, new servers, you know, what are you guys doing for the future? This is, you know, I keep saying on my Twitter, and this is the most that I'll say, is it's primer.
yeah.
It's primer for the paint, right? So you don't just throw a paint on the wall, you throw some primer up, and you paint it. So we are excited about ARK. The passion is still there. The love is still there.
Oh, yeah.
We still love dinosaurs. You know, I love working on this game. I think everybody does. So don't expect our passion or our love or, you know, our love for our community to go away. I think, honestly, you know, I see people in the public and they're like, man, you know, ARK fans can be pretty hard, man. I'm sorry. And I'm like, nah, really, I love our community. I am not kidding. 100%. The most passionate group of people, you know, most passionate gaming group that I've seen personally. So, you know, I'm very appreciative for our fans, our community, the things that they're doing for us, including Valguero. These are things that, you know, I think are cool. And we have one of the best communities out there. So just want to thank you guys for that.
Yeah, and if I can just say a quick shout out to great job to the Valguero guys. Great job to the Valguero team. You guys nailed it. The map is, I can't wait for you guys to see the new map. It's going to be awesome tomorrow. But yeah.
All right, so I think we have a couple questions. Let's see which ones I want to handle. Just got to make sure I'm not snarky.
You got to pick and choose, man. Pick and choose.
More hairstyles. Sure, I mean, that would be great. Can't guarantee that that's coming up, but it is something we do talk about, honestly. We had a cool chat going about, because this actually part in with the event conversation, because these are things that people said they like to see for events. Skins, different customization things.
Yeah.
So it is a part of the conversation, you know, as far as things that we could be introducing in the future. Server wipe, there are no plans for a server wipe at this point. If you really feel like there should be, weigh in on the server conversation that's on Survive the ARK. Make your opinion be known and get your support. You know, all the people that agree with you, get them in there and have them support you. That does not mean it will happen, but it does mean that we'll be able to hear the community's voice, and that'll go into the consideration when we do make those type of things. It said the new gen. I can never be the new gen, but I am the new community manager. Console release, I think I touched on that. That'll be in July. Again, we always try to make sure. It's unfortunate we weren't able to get these together, but that's something that we always aim for. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. This time it does not. Will Rock Drakes be in Valguero? No, they will not, right, Jackson?
They will not be in there. And I can't answer the question that says the Aberration cave is basically about 1/4 the size of the Valguero map. So underground, it's massive.
How big is the Valguero map? Because that's one up there.
And the Valguero map is about, I would say, roughly, it's about an island and a half in terms of size. Like, so it's like island plus a half of the island. So it's fairly large. A little bit smaller than Ragnarok and close to the center size.
Sweet.
So it's a big map, but then you have underground as well.
Transferring. Will you be able to transfer in or transfer? Similar to how we've done every other DLC, there will not be transfers allowed on launch. We'll update that with timing later, but you can guarantee that these will be no transfers available on these for a little while. Is the Deinonychus rideable? It absolutely is. If you didn't see Zane riding around on it, it's definitely rideable. Can you use weapons while riding the dino, Alex?
I mean, if you can, you can. Yeah, it's just like the Raptor.
Very
Gotcha.
nice.
Yep,
Very nice.
There we go. Will Dino latch onto flyers? Are there any flyers that this will latch onto? Or we won't say which ones they are.
There's one on Valguero, don't worry.
Yeah. All right, cool. So
Great.
Let's see. Will the Deinonychus be breedable?
Yeah. I think we made him breedable, right, Zane? Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah, we made him breedable. I remember
More to
that.
come on that. That might go back. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Hold on, I can still change something.
You can still turn it off. Turn it off.
We'll take that offline. Does the Deinonychus dismount players?
No, does not.
So does not dismount players. The normal Raptor does.
Oof. See, you're coming back. You're coming back, Zed.
Yes.
I do. There is one question I saw that someone mentioned in the boss arena is actually never before done as well. You're going to be fighting 3 bosses at the same time in the boss arena. So prepare for like one of the most epic fights ever in ARK.
Nice. When is the next event? I saw that soon. Soon TM. Yeah. Well, time for 1 or 2 more. Let's see. Well, you guys blew it. I didn't see a good one. Anyway, so we'll keep moving. So I want to thank you guys again for joining us. Let's be clear, if you do have questions, feel free to tweet them at me. I think anybody who follows me knows that I'm pretty active on social media. I answer a lot of questions. I'm not afraid to take on challenging questions or controversial questions as long as I have the authority to speak on those things. So feel free to tweet me. Feel free to write on Survive the ARK. Like I said, I'm very, very active. I just want to thank you guys for joining us, man. This has been...
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I am legitimately excited. I cannot wait to see everybody's experience. That first day experience, it's like the first day of school. Man, you're just ready, but you're not ready.
Valguero's going to be amazing tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
great.
We're
going to have a blast.
I think we're going to see some awesome builds, especially with the Structures Plus Homestead update.
Oh, yeah. I
think it's going to be some great builds on this.
And I can't wait to see some videos with people with jumping with the Deinonychus.
Oh, it's going to be great. And I can't wait to see what new OP Dino Alex has introduced into the ARK.
I'm never going to let it go,
ARK universe. It is important to note, so after this, and there's no set timing, but we do have several members in the influencer community that will be streaming Valguero. So we have partners that will be streaming after this. You can catch them on Twitch. You'll be able to see our fans and our community and the people we partner with playing this. So be sure to check them out if you want to get a more up-close look at it. Important to note that they are on a separated server. They aren't playing on the official server, so they're not getting a head start or anything. They're playing on a special server that's separated to the official network. So again, launch day is tomorrow, 10 a.m. PST. How many servers will we have? You'll find out tomorrow. I think that's all I have. You guys want to leave with anything?
Just great job, Alex, on the Deinonychus. Great job, Valguero guys. And great job on the sound, animations, everything.
That's right, Steven, you're great.
Yeah.
Yes, no.
Steven and John.
Forgot
John,
to call
yeah.
out the nameless people. So these are the people behind the scenes that help us get everything ready. So one of them being John, a producer here at ARK. The other being Steven, Chuck Norris. I'm sure you've seen him. If when I say Chuck Norris, you've seen him. If you know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's been fun. We're gonna close out here. Hopefully you guys have fun. Hopefully you enjoy this content. It's just primer. It's just primer.
That's right.
With that said, dinosaurs never die.
Dinosaurs never die.
Have fun.
Take it easy.
Pizza. Are we offline?